Here's your news for December 4th, 2019. We're starting by looking at this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, as Becky Lynch was once again absent from the show. This is the second Raw in a row that the man has missed, but as fans speculated on where she is, it turns out Lynch was in Nashville for Raw, and while she didn't appear on the show, spoke in a YouTube video saying, "It's been 2 weeks since I've been on Raw, and it's been 2 months since I've defended the Raw Women's Championship. Now, do we think the powers that were keeping me down at the beginning of all this have just gone away? I have said the fight that I want, and I have said that I will fight them in the parking lot if I can't get it on pay-per-view. I am the face of this company, but I'm not going to be the mouthpiece because this title deserves more. I deserve more. The people deserve more. I've said the fight that I want. I have one last debt to collect." That last debt Lynch is talking about is presumably against Asuka, as the Empress defeated the man at the Royal Rumble this past January and scored another pinfall victory over her on the November 11th edition of Raw. While Lynch may not have been present on TV this week, she did have a dark match against Kairi Sane after the show. Two people who were on Raw but are probably regretting that are Lana and Bobby Lashley, who were arrested during the show after getting physical with law enforcement and have been released from jail. The news was broken by WWE.com, who gave a statement revealing what had happened and also included a statement from the ravishing Russian who asked, "How can I be arrested by an off-duty police officer hired by me to protect myself?" Meanwhile, Lashley wisely kept his mouth shut, saying, "I've been advised by attorneys not to speak about the case because it could involve future litigation." To be fair to Lana, she does raise a good point, but we're not sure whether this storyline will get into the nitty-gritty details about the American legal system. What we do know is that Lana and Lashley are now free from kayfabe jail, as this story shows no signs of slowing down. SmackDown now, as Kofi Kingston has made history once again as part of the Blue Brand. This week, the former WWE champion reached his 1,000th day as a tag team champion in WWE, a feat that the company gave a nice mention to, and that Kofi didn't even realize had happened. Throughout his career, Kofi has held gold with the likes of CM Punk, Evan Bourne, R-Truth, and The New Day, and time will tell how long he and Big E will hold the SmackDown tag titles as they celebrate this huge accomplishment. Two superstars fans shouldn't expect to see hold title gold in WWE again are Dean Ambrose and Enzo Amore, as it's been quite a while since either man entered a WWE ring. Despite this though, a sponsored ad on Facebook for the WWE shop featured t-shirts for both men, which is strange to say the least, as if you search for either man on the WWE shop website, no results are found. If you go old school and just look through every item they have, you'll still find no merchandise left for the Certified G, while Ambrose still has some figures and a t-shirt available. For those of you who think this may be an old advert, it isn't, as research has found that this ad, with the out-of-date image, was first started being used by WWE this past Monday, on December 2nd. We're not sure how this weird error even got through WWE's team, but we expect the advert to be pulled or updated with current superstar shirts, and for someone backstage to get a real telling off. Next, we've got some NWA news for you, as former WWE superstar Wade Barrett has joined the company as a commentator. Now going under his real name Stu Bennett, the former Intercontinental Champion is replacing Jim Cornette on the show and will debut at NWA's Into the Fire event on December 14th. Since leaving WWE over 2 years ago, Barrett hasn't wrestled since, instead focusing on announcing and acting, as the 2015 King of the Ring has seemingly hung up his trunks and scepter for good. Another man who hasn't wrestled in a while, though not by their own choice, is Jeff Hardy, who continues to recover from his leg injury while also having trouble with the law. After being arrested for driving while impaired, Hardy will appear in court to face DWI charges this Friday after the November 7th court date was postponed due to Hardy needing to attend to his health. The charismatic Enigma was arrested on October 3rd this year after police witnessed Jeff swerving and driving erratically before eventually being pulled over. At the time of his arrest, Hardy had dried blood on his nose, which he claimed was the result of a fight with his wife. And though no domestic violence investigation was opened, Jeff's wife Beth and Matt Hardy's wife Rebby did have it out over social media. This isn't even the first time Jeff's had trouble with the law this year, as he was arrested for public intoxication in July. And while he may be one of WWE's biggest stars currently with the company, we have to wonder just how long the company can stick by the former world champion, who continues to make headlines for all the wrong reasons. Some much better news now, as John Cena has gone from nobody being able to see him to appearing everywhere, and is now being announced for an upcoming comedy film. According to Deadling, the 16-time world champion will be in the movie Vacation Friends, which will see Silicon Valley executive producer Clay Tarver make his directing debut. The film will be released through Hulu and 20th Century Fox, and will also star Meredith Hagner of Search Party fame and Get Out's Lil Rel Howery. The film will also be produced by Todd Garner, who previously worked on Cena's Playing with Fire film under the Broken Road Productions banner. Back to WWE now, and now that Lance Storm has closed down his wrestling academy last week, it didn't take the Canadian very long to get back to work. It's not currently clear what work the former Intercontinental Champion did this week, but we do know that he was backstage at Raw, as he sent out a tweet about seeing a lot of familiar faces behind the scenes. Hopefully, Storm will be able to influence the next generation of superstars, as with his years of expertise in the industry and the skills of the current roster, Storm's name could be included on production sheets next to some huge matches soon enough. Storm isn't the only new face to join WWE lately, as PW Insider is reporting that Krista Joseph has left Major League Wrestling after a very short tenure and is now heading back to the WWE very soon. This whole return has been out of the blue, as DeJoseph had only just started as the co-executive producer of the company, and only told MLW that he was leaving on Tuesday night. According to sources, DeJoseph was already in talks with WWE when he agreed to work for MLW, and during his previous run was with the McMahon-led promotion for 6 years, serving as a senior writer and producer for the company. In his absence from WWE, DeJoseph also did work for Lucha Underground and CBS's Big Brother reality show, but it seems his home has always been WWE. Andrade and his girlfriend Charlotte Flair may be doing some business of their own soon outside of the company. According to the PW Insider, both stars have filed trademarks for their own names, with Andrade now owning the rights to use El Idolo en la Sombra, the name he used on the Indies before coming to WWE. Charlotte has applied for trademarks for the Queen of Wrestling and her real name Ashley Flair, with these trademarks being registered for merchandise reasons. This fact has left many fans speculating on what the future holds for the duo, as many are seeing this as a sign that both Andrade and the Queen want to leave the company. Whatever happens, both Andrade and Charlotte are two of the most athletically gifted stars on WWE TV, and would no doubt be successful wherever they went. One man who knows all about being a success in multiple companies is Bill Goldberg, and the former WCW World Heavyweight and Universal Champion is ready to make a return to the WWE, though not in the ring. Following a great interview with The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin will continue his new network show Broken Skull Sessions with Goldberg, and the Rattlesnake took to Twitter to share the big news. As two of the biggest stars of the Attitude Era, albeit in different companies, there's plenty for the pair to discuss, including Austin stunning Goldberg out of WWE at WrestleMania 20 in 2004. Much like how the first episode was released immediately after Survivor Series, this episode will air on December 15th, immediately after TLC on the WWE Network. And finally, we're ending with some news from Jon Moxley, as the AEW star has continued to be vocal about the reasons he left WWE. This week, the former Dean Ambrose spoke to Chris Van Vliet about his decision, explaining how annoyed he was about being forced to leave, and though he wasn't happy giving up all that money, Moxley felt he had no choice. He said, "Once I decided I was going to leave, I wasn't happy for a while. I was pretty pissed about it. I was like, are they really gonna make me leave? Are they sure that they're gonna make me leave, aren't they? They're gonna everything up so bad because I wanted that money, you know? It's not that I don't like money. I like to put it in the bank and look at it, you know? I was like, I can't believe they're gonna make me walk away from all this money. Can't you write one good storyline, one little thing? I've talked about it ad nauseum, but it just got to the point like stuff I described on the Jericho interview, like, oh, now you come out in a hazmat suit. I was like, this can't be real. Am I on some reality show? Is this the new WWE Network reality show? Is Vince actually saying these words? Does he actually run a billion-dollar company? This is a joke. Joining All Elite Wrestling earlier this year, Moxley now has had much more freedom to tell his own story, both in and out of the ring. Of course, the door is probably always open for Moxley to make a return to the WWE, but for now, the Grand Slam winner isn't interested, as he's all set on continuing his career out of the company where he can compete and deliver stories on his own terms.